May I request one of the hostesses? Please.
Hi. So I have a question about the icons. So we've been using like S60 devices right from the beginning, even from the S7650 right now till the N97 or the X6, which got announced at Nokia World. So there's a lot of consistency which is there in the icons, like as you can see from the facts that you're like addressing a broad audience. But don't you think that as users are like getting more like expecting more like fashionable stuff out of the product, and you're giving a lot of importance to the hardware of the phone, like the looks, like the N97, the hardware looks pretty much newer than an old Nokia phone. Like there's a lot of a fashion aspect to it, but the icons still don't change much. It's a slight change, or it remains the same. And right now, after using a Memo device, which is also a Nokia, there's a new touch to it. Don't you think Symbian also needs a revival in terms of the looks without losing that like consistency in terms of UI? Do you think it's possible to, like for example, adding a 3D touch to the icons, or probably making it look more obvious in terms of the icons and stuff?
Yeah, we're constantly looking at ways to evolve what we do and improve what we do. I think in terms of the iconography, we also have to kind of be quite respectful of Nokia's kind of heritage that it has in terms of iconography, and how people have become very familiar with using our products and familiar with the icons and using them every day and relying on them and the interpretation of them. So I think the evolution that we go through in terms of evolving the icons, we have to kind of think about this and respect it as designers. I mean, as a designer, kind of in quite a fortunate place as well, working for Nokia, where there is this kind of heritage and people understand a lot of the iconography and have come to understand it. And I think when people swap between devices, I think it's what we try and achieve is a very kind of seamless transition from one device to the next. So we don't want people to have to kind of relearn what they're doing or read a manual to kind of experience our products. We want it to be as easy and as natural as possible.
Thank you.
One thing a lot of users on Nokia phones find is the placement of the icons. So when they move between phones, they find applications in Office or Office in applications. I mean, why the different locations of the icons on the phone?
I believe the different locations of the icons is purely a means to kind of target different groups and tailor the offering to best target certain groups in terms of what the product offers. So bringing some of the different features higher up in the menu structure means that some of the other features have to go into some of the other folders.
Yeah, one thing to add to that, to kind of take your question on a bit further, is if you think about the presentation that Juliana gave, and you think about how the home screens are changing, and if you have multiple home screens, you're getting information fed to you. Hello? You're getting information fed to you on the home screen. So increasingly, you're not having to go through a menu structure, through an application menu, because you've got that information right up there on your home screen as well. So that kind of thing is changing. The way you navigate around your device is changing.
Thanks.
Hello. Hi, I have a question. So is there any move towards, yeah. So yeah, hi, it's Mayank. So is there any move towards standardization of icons, I mean, across the phones, so Nokia, Samsung, etc.?
Yeah, I guess the current style of iconography, which was introduced with the 5800, is the style of iconography that's now being used across all of our products and our services. So all the products, and also as part of OV.
I'd like to clarify, I meant across various brands, not within Nokia, across different brands.
He's referring to
will Samsung and Nokia Symbian handsets have the same icons
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, as Nikki, I guess, described earlier, the work that we do is for Nokia, and in terms of the iconography that we create, that's for Nokia.
Is there any move?
I would ask a question back to you. Why are we having several languages around the world? Why don't we standardize and use one language so that we can all have the same native language? I think it's not just an issue of what users want, but there is also the aspect of people do want to express different things through the icons. So there are certain things that are branded, like Google has its own icon, Nokia has our own brand logo. Those things won't go away, and likewise, industry-wide standardized icons. I think some are still appearing in the internet, like waiting.
Yeah, but I
icons.
guess if there's a team, like there's a panel which has say 2 people from Nokia, 2 from Samsung, 2 from Motorola, whatever, and then they work on and decide some standards so that the users, if they're especially switching various brands, it's not that difficult for them to.
For the users, yes.
But you have to also understand that each company has a completely different goal in terms of what they want to achieve. I'm not sure and familiar with the competitors, but Nokia's goal is to reach this really big breadth of people, whilst maybe some other companies don't have that as a goal. So our iconography, as well as everything that we design, has this in mind as like our foremost goal.
We all want to answer this one. And I think a lot of metaphors across digital design are quite similar. If you look on PCs, on mobiles, CD-ROMs, there's a lot of metaphors that are actually quite similar. So we're not trying to create new metaphors that work very well as they have done for many years. But picking up on what Juliana said and Rob, Nokia has a brand as well. And you can get quite a lot of that Nokia-ness, that Nokia brand within a graphical implementation of the icons.
I think it might also be good to add that the work that goes into crafting some of the icons and the particular style, it's kind of based around making things as easy to use as possible. So, the work that goes into actually crafting some of the icons in terms of some of the examples I gave, the phone book, this icon is a kind of paper-based real-world object. So we render the icon to represent the real-world object so it looks like it's made of paper. And then in terms of the gallery, we take the film strip and we render that to give a kind of glossy feel. And then we use colors that are kind of sympathetic to these objects. So there's all these kind of tiny visual cues that help distinguish each icon from each other and help it to be interpreted as quick and as easy as possible. And it all kind of leads towards hopefully making our products easier and intuitive to use.
Hi.